Hi, this is Dr. Paul White, co-author of the 5 Languages of Appreciation in the Workplace, and I'm pleased to be joined here with Jasmine Liew, who's visiting from Singapore. And Jasmine is one of our premier partners that provides appreciation at work training in Singapore and Malaysia. And we've had the opportunity recently to do some research together, comparing how employees in the U.S. and employees in Singapore differ in their preferences for the 5 languages. And in fact, that's going to be published here pretty quickly. So just to provide some context and a reminder that, in the U.S., that words of affirmation is the most frequently chosen appreciation language. 46% of the workforce choose that, so it's pretty high. Quality time tends to be second, about 26%. Acts of service is 22%. Tangible gifts is quite a bit lower, down to 6%, and physical touch is less than 1%. But we were cued by sort of an article that came out in Singapore that employees really wanted some help from their supervisors. And so we wound up pulling data and comparing the two groups, because we have about 1,000 people in Singapore that have taken the inventory, and found that a different language was preferred for them. So Jasmine, tell us about that.
Yes. So actually, interestingly, when I conduct several runs of the program 5 Languages of Appreciation in the Workplace, the Singaporeans group tends to give the majority prefer acts of service. Why is that so? Because perhaps they're very practical people, being effective and efficient, we want to get things done fast and right. So we prefer our leaders to actually don't give lip service. It's not about just praise or encouragement, but sit down and understand my problems, and also help me to overcome the obstacles. It's not just saying I will help you and thank you for the job, but really experience how I felt and the kind of difficulties I face. But another key thing is I also ask the leaders, have you done that? They say yes. But on the other downside, because it's not done effectively, is when leaders are trying to listen and help the employees, it becomes a scolding session where they start to be very critical, like, why are you not doing this? Why are you making these mistakes? Or even they could also say that what they're doing is not right. So although in the leader's mindset, they think that I'm helping my employees, there's nothing wrong with their intention, but the way they do it in their tones, in their body language, and also being critical does not seem as helping, but rather judging and blaming. Yeah, so I think this is a key crux that leaders have to understand. I myself faced that before. I have a leader who has very good intention, and she would spend 2-3 hours with us in a meeting to go through slide by slide, word by word. And to her, she felt that she's doing something for us to actually invest 3 hours, dedicate her time and putting her work aside to really sit down and go through the slides with us. But the other flip side was the approach was done very differently. Like, her tone was very harsh. It becomes a scolding and judging session, blaming session. And the outcome is all of us in that 3 hours meeting don't seem to have feel any acts of service from her, but rather we hope that the meeting end early and we actually avoid going for meetings with her. Yeah, so I think that is key, that acts of service is first. Number one, you really have to sit down, understand and experience how they feel. Number two, besides understanding, is to identify their obstacles, and as leaders, you're empowered to do so. You have to help them to overcome the obstacles. And if you're very grateful, it can be simple things like helping them with work processes, streamline their work processes, or even provide resources like proper tools, equipment, and computers to help them to do their job effectively and efficiently.
Yeah. So I mean, it is obviously true that whether you're a supervisor or a colleague, how you provide an act of service can really make a difference in how it's both delivered and how it's received. And we want to do it in an encouraging way, not in a sort of condescending way. So it's helpful to hear that context, and thanks for sharing.
Welcome.